Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Sunday night of the no-rooster? No-rooster, which is actually not happening. Can you believe that? A good friend of mine actually asked me to go to Rangers game, and I mean, I'm not really into hockey, but I would have gone if they hadn't, you know, had this prediction about messianic fucking Ark of Noah, sort of like fucking storm, right? And we all had to be in a fucking boat that Noah built. I mean, biblical fucking proportion of hurricane that's coming from the south. Huh? But you know what? I'm glad he made it. I think he's watching. It's good for him. All right? Um, Me and my wife are just home, and I think we are also under the weather, you know, changing climate. And a lingering flu virus, always there to attack you, eat on your body. Is that what it is? You know? Um, I hope nothing like, COVID comes back. I hope not. Well, I don't think so. All right, we all got shots, COVID shots. Well, I got one shot, but I actually, had to do that because I was traveling. Remember, at the end of 2021, finally the whole thing subsided, and I traveled internationally in May of the following year. Uh, but even like local travel, I think you had to show. Did you have to show like a fucking COVID card, even on like local flights if you had to go to another city? Or was that like in Toronto? I remember that Canada basically wanted you to quarantine for 10 days before they would release you from the airport. Is that what it was? Or you had to go like into a designated fucking hotel? I don't fucking know. It was a shit show, all right? All kinds of fucking moronic, unnecessary measures were taken. All right. I don't want to sound like fucking Joe Rogan here, but um, hopefully nothing like that happens. It just, I think regular flu. We should get the regular flu shots. I think um, to keep the flu away. But I think I'm going to basically. Actually, I did cook some soup that I'm going to have. Um, and hopefully my wife can eat some too. And then probably I'll take some NyQuil and just fucking sweat my ass off. I think that's. I mean, I don't have any body temperature, and I don't want to moan and bitch about fucking flu, but um, I just feel it. It's not fun. And this nor'easter actually just became some sort of soap opera because we were watching the fucking weather since last night, right? And we have these, sort of like the floor to the ceiling windows, like these French windows in our apartment. The water gets in. If it's a really really windy fucking rain, in our direction, and we were braced, man. You know, Nothing like fucking Sandy. Remember that fucking hurricane? Oh my God, man. What? What? All right. Well, my wife has, has her own predictions and reasons, I guess. Ismaili's Lord is here. Yeah, well, okay. I don't want to talk about anything religious, but yeah, well, my wife is a believer. Good for her. I don't know. I mean, I talk about this all the time. I think the universe is a God, and then everything else is just manifestation. Is that what it is? I don't want to get into that discussion, but thank you for reminding me, Princess. Uh, what I was talking about. All right, so no Richter. Oh, Hurricane Sandy. I mean, I don't want to really go back to 2012 and exhume those fucking bodies, right? I remember I was living in Brooklyn. I'll just, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and I'll end the chain of my thought, all right? And my sister was living in Midtown East, right? With a roommate, actually, at that time. They had a two-bedroom, all right? And that night, you know, I'm talking about 2012, which is basically 13 years ago, right? That night, I was at the border of where the Hasidic Jews were living and then the fucking hipsters, right? I had my own tiny, small apartment, but that building was like one of those, like, it wasn't a brownstone, but it was one of those, like, not really good structure building. And then at some point in time, the wind was so fucking bad, you could basically feel if the fucking roof was gonna blow away by the wind. And it was gonna be like one of those, like, fucking Charlie Chaplin movies. Remember those? Where all of a sudden he's basically sleeping on the, was that Charlie Chaplin or in the middle of the fucking whatever it was, right? Was that Buster Keaton? One of those, right? He's sleeping on the fucking, what do you call the bed, right? And all of a sudden, fucking the whole roof is gone, right? Blown by the, oh yeah, that was the tornadoes. Didn't they make one on the tornadoes in Oklahoma and those fucking states, right? Where everything is blown away, swept into the, into the sky by the twisters. Twisters? Remember that fucking movie? Um, so that's what I thought it was going to be like that fucking night, Sandy's. Um, but we got lucky in Brooklyn. Other parts, obviously not. I mean, not all parts of Brooklyn, where I was, which was basically close to like Williamsburg. But, like Rockaways, obviously, they were all under the fucking water, right? Coney Island, I think it was under the fucking water. And Jersey, obviously, right? All the fucking Jersey Shore. The whole fucking Atlantic City was devastated, with like 20 feet high fucking, waves. Remember that? And speaking of which, I actually started watching a show which is based in Atlantic City, back in the Prohibition era, with what's his name, Bushimi. what's his first name? Steve Buscemi. He's a great actor, right? It's called it's an old show, but it's called the Boardwalk Empire, all right? You know, the bootlegging and the whole fucking, the mafia thing, where they were actually making the bootleg liquor, alcohol, whatever, right? Because the whole, country had the alcohol banned, by the federal government, by the feds, all right? Meanwhile, you could actually go to fucking Atlantic City and drink whatever the fuck you wanted, all right? And obviously you couldn't do that in New York. And honestly, I can't imagine a place like Manhattan. Just imagine something like that happens now, right? I mean, this is like 100 years after, like roaring 20s, right? And I can't imagine a Manhattan without bars or bars without fucking booze. I cannot imagine. All right. And listen, I'm not promoting, booze and alcoholism here, but um, the whole consequences, I think that, I mean, I just started watching it, but the consequences of like the prohibition and, even now, although, I don't fucking do any, I don't smoke weed or any of that shit. Maybe I should. It will give me some calmness, right? No, it makes me fucking paranoid, right? Uh, Maybe when I am a little more older, because weed also makes you sort of creative. I felt that, when I was doing a little bit of fucking edibles back in the days, right? Uh, and Even now, all right, most of the states have marijuana legalized, all right? And I mean, marijuana is a medicine, all right? It is still prescribed by the doctors for some certain, you know, pains and ailments and all that, but all the other stuff too. I'm not saying that we should legalize everything from fucking heroin to fucking fentanyl, but I'm saying the consequence. I'm just making a general fucking statement. You're trying to oppress all those things, and then the consequences of all that, especially like just imagine what happens to Manhattan basically goes down the fucking drain. All the economy, right? But all the bars and the restaurants, they're gonna go out of fucking business. All right, what they're gonna do is start making their own moonshine in the basements, just like back in the Prohibition era. I think that's what they're doing, right? In any case, so I went from one topic to the other, but um, the uh, the hurricane, Sandy actually happened at the end of October. I fucking remember that too. All right. And this was the second election of Obama, right before that. And right after that, I'm like, right after fucking Sandy happened, right? I'm like, I called one of my clients. So he was running a bar, right? He owned a bar and he owned the whole building. And I'm like, hey man, listen, uh, I'm not saying that something happened, during fucking Sandy or some fucking Joyce fell upon me, but I think I need to like move. And he's like, yeah, man, come on, because I was also working on one of his projects. And we are trying to finish up the, and he's like, I got an apartment upstairs, it's like, it was a nice apartment. I moved in there. But then the whole fucking, it's just like, oh my fucking God. It was like sitting on top of a famous bar, not sitting, sorry, living on top of a famous bar where all the fucking hipsters, you know, They hang out, and there was a pool table in there, and the owner and his wife, they were running that. They were nice, but in any case, oh shit, speaking of which, I have to actually touch base with him. He's an extremely nice guy, local, But in any case, sorry, I'm jumping from one topic to the other, but uh, the bottom line is that hurricanes are not fun, you know. And Sandy obviously was a 100-year storm. Can you believe that? 1% chance. I mean, 1 in 100 years. So that means next Sandy is going to happen in when? 2112. Okay, there you go. All right. I'm not saying 2112, but anytime, anytime. All right. That's the statistics. Um, but only one. All right. So here I am. Here I am. Will send me an angel. That was actually that night. All right. I was by myself, and it was kind of scary. I guess because I was doing those fucking edibles, that didn't help either, right? Which is already making me paranoid. And then that fucking all the uh the wind. In any case, all right. So let's change the gears. All right. What else is going on? All right. It's October 11th or 12th, and weather is already changing. All right. And literally, we have heat on. All right. We have heat on, which is good. I need to sweat. All right. And it's going to be what, Halloween, which I'm not a big fan of. What, like, that's more for kids. Except that, yeah, you can see some people who are dressed up, and you're like, oh shit, Halloween parties, right? And and then 20 days later, it's going to be Thanksgiving, and that's it. That's the end of the fucking year. All right. Um, and then the frigid temperatures. All right. I don't want to sound negative here, but that's the reality. Reality check. Right. I don't know if, as per plan, we can go to Florida, but we'll see. I would love to like get the fuck away from this weather for 3 months. Plus, we've also been looking into like some bigger places where we can actually have a two-bedroom instead of, this one bedroom. I mean, it's fine, but I got old parents. My wife, she's got old mom, and then, we're planning to bring them here for at least a couple of months, just like my dad was, and next year somebody's going to be here. And then, my brother's here, so we got family. And, so I think we need another fucking room, all right? And, obviously, up here is nothing is cheap, especially real estate, man. Oh my God, that's like the fucking 40% of your salary goes into rent and mortgage and all that fucking, expense to just keep a roof on your head, you know? Is that why these millennials and these, what do you call these, gen whatever generation, you know? What is that? I don't know, fucking idea, Z. They can save the fucking money to save, buy something, you know? Saving in this country, unless you have over a 400,000, $300,000 salary, 400,000, no, 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 forget it. And especially if you're living up here, all right? Impossible, you know? Uh, I did go out for a few hours on Friday night, as per the usual. However, my insomnia, just the habit of late sleeping and just staying up watching shows, which is good actually. We're gonna actually watch our shows. Sunday night is my what is Sunday night, sir? Well, I mean, it's Sunday night is another fucking night, all right? People say, always Sunday night, man. Always Saturday night. Always Monday night. No, it's the same thing. All right? It's the same night. This planet revolves around this other earth. I'm sorry, this other rock. This rock revolves around this other rock. For it, it's the same thing. We have just made up these days and, um, as if tomorrow is different than today or day after tomorrow, right? Um, the other thing, if I hadn't gone to, which I didn't, my friend invited me to go to the Rangers game, right, hockey game. I think next Sunday I'm going to sign up for the fucking, what do you call the open mic. All right. So I'm going to try, I'm going to convince a couple of other guys. Maybe one guy, a friend of mine, he's young. I was telling him about that. He's like, yeah, man, send me the link. Maybe I'll, because he's young guys, and girls as well. You all, I understand. In America, especially, do it, you know, do it. That's a good hobby. All right. Don't feel, I mean, which choir am I preaching to? I'm just saying that I didn't do this. So this is one of my regrets. Listen, I still have time. I'm not like fucking 70-year-old with my feet in the underground. All right. Legs, half of my body underground. I'm not saying that. All right. But what I'm saying is I think that's, don't have it stage right. Um, so maybe next Sunday I'm gonna sign up. If they sign me up, I'm gonna go there. All right. And it's 8:30, everyone. I think I'm gonna have the soup that I cooked. I'm gonna ask my wife. She's sleeping. Sorry. Um, taking a nap. And depending on if my condition is really bad, I'm just going to basically just sweat myself off and go to bed, right? And that's like my boring Sunday night. All right, it's okay. Sometimes it's good to have a boring Sunday night instead of like, oh, what exciting Sundays. Sundays nights are supposed to be boring, just chill, man, right? But I gotta blame these fucking, low risk, like fucking weather forecasters. Oh, really? How can you not predict the weather more precisely now that we are in 2025? You know. In any case, all right. So that's my podcast, everyone. I assume you all had a great week, and I'll see you all next week.